Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another very special episode of Guapish. I believe this is episode 22 that we are on now. This one is being recorded just like a few days after the previous one, and Tanner's very sleep deprived, so I have no idea just how long this episode will actually end up lasting. We'll see. We'll try and go for an hour, maybe not. But as always, I'm your host, Nico, and I am joined by the illustrious Tanner Nikolai today.
Woo!
And that's about it. It's just us two again.
It's just us two.
Yeah.
That's great. Like, honestly, it's probably more like 1.5 people with me, but...
1.5 people with you?
1.5. Well, because you count as one, Nico.
Gotcha, okay. I thought that you were saying that you yourself count as 1.5 person.
I am 1.5 people, yeah. Under ordinary circumstances.
Yeah, unfortunately not that way today. Yeah. Dylan is once again gone for his pyramid scheme thing today. He's at a seminar of some sort today, so... Yeah, that's what he's up to right now.
A company retreat, if you will.
I don't think it's much of a retreat. I think he's just like in a few towns over right now or something like that.
Yeah, you know. Anything to get away from the monotony of your ordinary life.
That's right, my guy. That's right. And how ordinary our lives are. We truly do not live like super extraordinary lives, now do we?
No, not. I wouldn't classify either of our lives as extraordinary, but like, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, what percentage of people have an extraordinary life?
Probably not too many. Probably not too many more people than have been on like the Joe Rogan podcast. I think he like has a monopoly of those people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he just
so like 1,800 at most or whatever.
Yeah, precisely. There are quite a few repeats though as well. So like, don't give him too much credit here.
You're right. Joe Rogan is a hack. And
Joe
I'm
Rogan
gonna drive
content,
up to
dude.
Austin, Texas right now and fight him.
You're gonna challenge him, much like Logan Paul or whatever his name is constantly challenging people. You're gonna do that to the Joe Rogan?
That's right. I'm gonna challenge him to a simultaneous MMA fight and stand-up fight.
Ah, there we go.
So we're gonna have to tell jokes as we fight each other.
That sounds like a grand time. I don't know much about Joe Rogan's like actual fighting experience. Like I know he's fairly experienced, but I haven't actually watched him fight at all. Stand up, on the other hand, I think it's okay. I think he's an alright comic.
He never fought pro. He just did like amateur stuff, I think.
Okay.
One of my cousins that I saw over the last weekend.
Did he fight Joe Rogan?
Yeah, that's right. He's fought Joe Rogan. Nah, he fights. He does amateur MMA.
Okay. Was there a massive pause there, or did you just completely cut out?
I was saying the word fights, and I stretched it out because I didn't know what was coming after that word. And then I just ended because I realized he fights is a good enough description of what he does.
Okay. Do you know what his particular fighting style is? Is he a taekwondo kind of guy?
I don't. Probably like the standard, like jujitsu.
Oh, gross.
Whatever. Stack
Disgusting.
whatever else on top of it.
Not even Brazilian jiu-jitsu or anything?
I don't know if there's a difference. I think jiu-jitsu originates from Brazil, so it's kind of all Brazilian.
You would think that. Your ignorance is showing once more, Tanner.
Okay.
Shows that you haven't even read a single martial arts manga. Do you have any idea how many I've read, Tanner? 1.
I can't say I'm aware of this martial arts. What? Who's the fucker you just mentioned? The author?
What?
The author you just mentioned.
I didn't mention an author at all.
What do you What? Did I just imagine an entire conversation? What do you mean?
I guess so.
What was the man's name you just said? You read a novel by someone you just said.
No, I didn't. I didn't say anything about that.
No.
I said that I read a manga recently about martial arts, but that was it.
When you said I read a manga about martial arts, I heard I read a novel by, like, Marshall Gartz or something like that.
Okay. Well, now it all makes sense now, doesn't it?
Okay. Yeah, and then the part where you didn't hear me speaking was me saying, "Who the hell is Marshall Gartz?"
Oh, okay. You see, when you said that, I thought you were just making some joke about martial arts, and I was like, "All right, Tanner, that's very cool."
No, I legitimately heard you say you had read a novel by some man named, like, Martial Arts or Martial Arts,
Gotcha.
something like that.
Okay.
It's pretty good. You do any martial arts when you were a kid? You get signed up for like a month and then quit?
Yeah, I definitely did at one point. I don't remember what exactly it was. I think it was just like some basic bitch wrestling stuff. But yeah,
Wrestling.
I did do that. Yeah, I did do that like very, very briefly. I barely remember any of it. I just remember the gym we were in, and I had to wrestle some kid at some point. I think I did okay. That's about it.
I remember being in 4th grade and doing karate for like a month and being done.
Yeah, Dylan also did karate when he was a small little lad. I think he made it to like blue belt.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's like 1 above yellow?
Yeah, it's not super far at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think anyone we know is like super into any of that kind of stuff, so.
And look how much good it's done, Dylan.
Exactly. That man is absolutely killing it now because of his martial arts training.
Uh-huh. He's a CEO, he's an entrepreneur, he's a spaceman. What were you about to say?
Yeah, I was wondering about something. Earlier this week, I got to thinking about like scams and shit like that, because I almost got scammed this week, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Okay.
And I remembered you telling a tale about how you had gotten scammed out of like a ton of money.
Oh yeah, I've lost over $1,000 to like people pretending to be prostitutes.
I thought that's what it was about. I mean, I didn't know that was the exact like reasoning for it. I just knew that you had lost like over $1,000. Yeah. How did that happen, Tanner?
Well, you know, you're on Tinder, and then like you match with these like fake ass hoes. But you know, maybe you can always tell. But you know, this was last summer, so this was like immediately following me losing my virginity. Yeah. So like this was when I was at my least like safe, I guess would be this thing.
Yeah, you were unstable during this point in your life.
But yeah, I'm going through Tinder and hookup apps and whatever, and like people. You'll get random people adding your Snapchat and they'll be messaging you, and like I think I don't know if this is true, but I assume it's the case that girls will just like sell their pictures to scammers for them to use to more effectively trick people into thinking that they're like a real girl.
Oh, that's interesting. I'd never really thought of that before, but I guess it does make sense.
These pictures aren't going to be the pictures they send a lot of times. They're not going to be on Google or anything, and they don't look staged either.
Yeah.
So I can only assume they somewhere found a girl who's like, yeah, I'll take a bunch of like natural looking sexy pics, and you can use them to scam people. But yeah, you know, I just get hit by a bunch of those, and then. I don't know. I think on 1 or 2 of them I went real hard into the sunken cost fallacy.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
Where I'm just like, oh, they said this much and they'll show up, so if I just keep going, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer, dude. I'm sorry about that.
That's fine. That was back when I had money to burn, so like, it didn't even
It wasn't doing anything else for me. Exactly. It needed to go somewhere. It may as well like line to some prostitute's wallet somewhere.
There were literally, I think, 2 or 3 days that summer where I rented a hotel room and slept in it because I thought I was going to be hooking up with someone in it, and then no one ever showed up.
Gotcha.
Pretty good.
Yeah. That's dangerous, though. You could have gotten killed.
Yeah.
That is the that is the flip side of this. At least you got to sleep in a nice, cushy hotel room and not be murdered.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend this behavior to anyone. I wouldn't recommend much of any of my behavior during that particular time period.
Would you not say that you are a model role model, Tanner?
I think I'm a role model in plenty of ways. Self-control as it regards to sexuality, not so much.
Gotcha. Yeah, your family has struggled with addiction in the past, and this is just your vice that you have discovered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some people sew, some people knit, some people crochet. I fuck.
What was the catalyst that created all of this, Tanner? Was it our boy Gary sending you a sex doll? Is that what did it?
No, that literally did nothing. That sat in my closet for, I don't know, a couple of years, I think, and then I threw it away.
Why didn't you throw it away immediately? Why'd you keep it so long?
Initially, the plan was, I'm going to keep it until Garrison forgot he even sent me this, and then I'm going to send it to Garrison.
Ah, okay.
That would have been a good joke, but I didn't commit.
He didn't live very far away from me, though. It would have been so easy. That's okay, Lieutenant. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
What even kind of sex doll was it anyway? Was it just one of the basic bitch, like, inflatable ones?
I don't know, I never opened it.
Oh, you never it just said, like, sex doll on the front of it?
No, it was in an Amazon box.
Okay.
It didn't look like anything.
Oh, okay. How'd you know what it was, then?
I think I opened the box and... Because weren't you there when I got it from Garrison?
No.
I don't remember. Obviously, I opened it when I first got it, and I was like, oh, it's a Garrison prank. And then that was it.
Oh, okay. Well, if you opened it, then surely you must have known, like, what kind of sex doll it was.
I don't know. It's deflated plastic. Like, what do you want?
That's what I was asking. I was asking if it was one of the basic bitch inflatable ones.
What else would it? What you think he sent me one of these fucking AIs in an Amazon box?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Garrison seems to have a lot of money to burn as well, constantly. So I wouldn't put it past him.
I'm unclear on what he does for a job, so I just assume he has mob ties.
I don't know. I think he just comes from wealth. I think that's the gist of it for the most part, to my knowledge.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But in terms of me, Tanner, how I almost got scammed earlier this week. Not really like almost got scammed. It was barely almost getting scammed. So I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but there's been a scam going around on YouTube recently concerning the boy himself, Mr. Beast. And for those of you not aware of who Mr. Beast is, which you should be, he's like one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. He is constantly doing all of these just like really illustrious things with his money, you know? He's like buying up an entire Walmart and shit like that, going to like some car place and just buying every car they own and then giving them to homeless people or some shit, you know? Or like getting a pizza and just tipping the house to the pizza guy. So on YouTube, as I was like just kind of scrolling around one day, I saw that there was a YouTube ad that was like Mr. Beast giving away $500 to every single person or whatever who like did something for him, that, like signed up for this thing or whatever. And so I was like, well, that sounds way too good to be true. However, at the same time, that definitely sounds like something Mr. Beast would do. And it was saying that it was like promoted by Mr. Beast himself and shit like that. So I pressed on it, and then it brought me to like some page, and I was looking at it, and I was thinking, you know what? I'm gonna look this up real quick, just in case, because this does not feel quite right. And so yeah, sure enough, I did a quick little Google search, and yeah, it's a massive scam that's going on at the moment. Why YouTube promotes that kind of stuff? I don't know. Kind of seems like it would be against their terms of service to promote a blatant scam, but who am I to judge, you know? Who am I? I'm just some peasant down here with 59 subscribers. I don't have any power here. Say it, Tan. That was my story of almost getting scammed by YouTube.
That was a beautiful speech. I will say, I feel like you kind of preface this with being a story where you did get scammed, not almost.
Nah, almost got scammed, Tanner. Almost. I've never truly been scammed before. It was only a series of almosts in my life.
Yeah, no one's ever given a real go at you for scamming?
I I mean, there have definitely been moments, Tanner. There have most certainly been moments, but none of them where I've given into the urges at all. You know, none of them in which their intellect has outmatched mine.
Crazy.
Yeah. So far, I'm clean, but who knows?
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
You went to college. The biggest scam of all.
Yeah, I was about to say. That is truly the biggest scam.
Bada bing, bada boom.
They gave me a degree, and so far I haven't even gotten it in the mail yet. How do I know I truly graduated?
Do you have any idea how long that's going to take to get you?
How long did it take to get yours?
I think I just got mine a little bit ago.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. They said that they mailing them out shortly.
They're liars. And also USPS is like hiring homeless people or something now.
Fuck, dude. They're gonna steal my diploma.
Exactly. Think of everything they'll be able to do with it.
Yeah, that's a real bummer, because they did have it set to like be shipped over to like my parents' place, but I don't live there anymore, and they're gonna be moving like later this week, so oh boy, I'm gonna need to possibly change up that address just a little bit here. At the very least, I do have a PDF of my diploma though, so that's something, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. You can print that out on your resume.
Yeah, that's right. Just slap that bad boy on there.
What does work look like for you nowadays? Now that you graduated.
Now that I graduated, currently I'm still working at the ye old GameStop, you know, just doing that old thing. My days off, I'm like looking for other work and such. I just got emailed a cheeky little job option that one of my cousins works at. That one pays like significantly more. Yeah, so I may end up doing that, but at the same time, it's like full time in a call center or whatever the fuck, and I don't want to do that. That sounds awful. So like, I don't know. We'll see. Tanner, have you ever had like any like truly awful customers that you've had to deal with?
I've had rough experiences. A lot of just people being rude for no reason, like stuff like the chip readers on the pumps outside not working, and so they have to come inside to pay. And like literally today, I had some guy being like super aggro about for some reason. He's like, "What? Who's managing this place? You guys gotta get your pumps fucking fixed." I'm like, dude, I have no control over that situation. And hey, you know, sometimes shit don't work.
That is like always the weirdest thing, where they assume that it's like your fault or something like that for something that is entirely out of your control.
Yeah, exactly. I had a homeless woman start flipping out on me because she like handed me a lottery ticket and I checked it and it wasn't a winner. I'm like, it's not a winner. She's like, that's $100 ticket, sir. I'm like, no, the machine that tells us what the tickets are worth says it's worth nothing. And then she goes, your machine's been hacked, sir. And this was a great one of those moments where like it's not until way after you think of what you should have said.
Yeah, of course.
And afterwards I'm like, damn, what I should have said is, why would someone hack a lottery machine and then make it not give out winning numbers? Like, why would someone hack a lottery machine to not give you money? How does that make any sense?
Well, you see, it's the lottery machine people who are doing it, Tanner. They don't want to pay the little man.
Right, yeah.
That's obviously what's going on here. I think you just gypped that woman out of $100.
There you go. I probably did.
Yeah.
Not 100, but yeah.
Yeah, is that about it? Is that all you've really had to deal with for the most part? Just people being god-awful sometimes?
Yeah, I'm really trying to think, but also, like, this is not the best time for thinking.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, when is the best time for thinking?
When is the best time?
Yeah, this isn't truly a very intellectual show.
Yeah, we got these two guys that just, like, hang outside our store all day, and from what information I've gathered, they're not homeless, but they hang out in front of, you know, our Circle K and ask people for money. There
was a King of the Hill episode about that.
Yeah, I guess that's just their deal. And I'm not a big fan of, well, one of the guys I'm fine with. The other guy, I'm not a big fan of because he stole from us, like, a couple weeks ago, but he still shows up. And Also, he just approaches random women and starts hitting them on them. I'm like, dude, this is like, what? What are you doing?
Yeah, that sucks.
Even women that are like women that are alone, he just starts walking up to them and trying to talk to them. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? That's not acceptable behavior.
That is something that I've really had to think about as of late, because like due to me having like several female friends now, I've had to listen to them talking about how like it's so awful when like guys hit on you and shit. Just like these assholes, they're so creepy and shit. And I'm always with them. I'm like, hell yeah, fuck that guy. Who does he think he is, just talking to you for no reason?
Right.
But now that I'm a single man, it does have me thinking like, well,
what's the alternative?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What else are they gonna do?
It's definitely a virtually impossible line to straddle. And a lot of it is highly dependent on whether or not the girl finds you attractive. If she does, then it's not creepy, no matter how creepy from an objective standpoint it is. If she's not attracted to you, then you're committing a crime, basically.
That is something that I've asked. I've been like, hey, so like, how am I supposed to navigate this whole thing? Like, how do I not come off as super creepy? And from what one of my friends told me was that, well, you're attractive, so you just don't have to worry about it. And that's not a very satisfying answer.
Yeah. That's why I don't walk up to random women and start hitting on them.
It doesn't feel like that should be right. It's not...
but like, what's the alternative? Women gotta look out for themselves, you know?
That's true. Especially in Texas, where they can be strapped.
That guy I mentioned, I once saw him, like, he walked over to a lady pumping her gas. I'm like, this is not... Like, if you're, I don't know, out in a grocery store or something, and you see a girl that you think is cute, and you walk up and you try talking to her, fine, yeah, sure. Like that's a somewhat reasonable area. Like, if they're in a setting where they could reasonably expect to end up interacting with someone, then you creating an interaction, I think, is more acceptable. But when they're, in the middle of doing some sort of task by themselves, they have no reasonable expectation that someone should start, like, trying to talk to them. And so if you're just going to insert yourself into their situation, I can very much see how unsafe that would make people feel.
But just think about how romantic of a story that would be, dude.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
I was pumping my gas, and then, like, he walked up to me, and he started flirting with me, and it was so cute.
He shoved me against my car, and I knew he was the one. But don't do that, guys. Also, like, highly dependent on how you flirt.
Yeah.
You can't go full sexual innuendo right out the bat. That's untenable.
I don't know, Tanner. Maybe some people are into that, though. How can you truly tell unless you shoot your shot?
Listen, here's in my experience, like whatever flirting I'm doing it from behind a register. But
do you actually flirt at work?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll shoot out a little, but I think the safest way to do it is just throw out like, oh, I like your glasses. I like your hair. That's a cute watch or whatever, like bracelet or whatever. And then see how they react to that to know how much further you can try and go. Like if they give a very legitimate, oh, thank you. Then be like, hey, can I get your number? Numberino?
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying, Nico?
Yeah, I suppose so. There has, like, this past week, actually, there was an instance in which, like, there's this pretty cute girl who came in, and we were talking a bit, and we were, like, talking about Pokemon shit, dude. Like, she's been shiny hunting for Snom, and, like, I fucking love Snom, dude. Snom is fucking epic, bro.
Wow. I don't know what one that is.
there's just like this clique, it was pretty cool, but also at the same time, she, like, how girls are around our age, where they can very easily look as though they might be in the early 20s, or they could be like 14, and I just don't know. So
yeah,
kind of feels dangerous to try anything. So
yeah.
Also, just like, I don't know, because I basically always have someone working with me at all times, it feels weird to like flirt with anybody.
Here's okay. What are some strategies to figure out a girl's age that aren't obvious?
Could
you be like, so let's say you're in that work scenario or whatever. They start off with like, hi, how are you, or whatever, and
yeah.
What if you just go like, working on my birthday or something, and they're like, wow, how old are you? And then you say how old are you? And then let's see, how can you transition from that there?
Yeah, I don't know. You say like what
about you?
Like,
you had your birthday recently or something?
Yeah.
That's almost something. It could use some refinement.
Yeah, there's a bit of flow issues that might be present there, but I think there's a decent template set.
Or something like, I don't know, like, what's the first movie you remember seeing in theaters? Do you think that's... Nah.
That doesn't feel like a very natural thing to bring up, and...
Yeah, also it probably gives too wide of, like, a year range, because you can't predict what age they were when they went to a theater.
Yeah. Let's see here.
What's your MySpace account?
You remember MySpace at all?
Yeah. What about... Ooh, here we... Where were you on 9/11?
Oh, perfect.
No, that's actually good. If you can somehow get into that, that's great. Because at our age, at the very least, the answer is always, I don't remember, I was X years old.
Gotcha. That is fair. That is fair. However, bringing up 9/11 is also a very difficult task, generally, I think. I think that this past week is about the only time you can really do that.
I don't know, I almost think... I think you can kind of pull it off by playing it off as, like, lol random humor.
I mean, possibly.
Right? So, just be out of the blue. So, where were you on 9/11? Or something.
I guess so. You can try and pull it off, my guy.
I think that's almost a strat.
That's definitely something. I'm looking at, like, this Quora thing right now where someone... ask this exact question, and just the answers are not...
How do you find out a girl's age without...
Yeah, the answers are not super applicable to, like, this sort of scenario.
Yeah,
they're more so, like...
dead in the eyes and be like, are you legal?
That is also an option, I guess.
What's the Quora saying? What are the experts saying?
They're just saying things like, well, if you don't want to ask her, then ask her friends. Or, like, go onto her Facebook or Twitter and check there. That kind of stuff.
What the fuck? That's the worst thing you can do. Don't start stalking people's social medias. What?
Yeah, they seem like pretty awful answers. So, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't heck know.
People on Quora don't date.
Where do you find people who, like, actually date?
Hold on a second. What about what's your favorite Pokemon region?
There we go.
Because people are probably
Gen 1ers only. That's the only acceptable answer. That's how you know they're legal.
Yeah, there's either, like, kids like you say Gen 1, but I feel like most people are going to say whatever gen it was when they were 10, and then maybe you can reverse engineer their age from that.
That is fair. My favorite generations are like 3 or 4, and I was likely around that age or so when those came out, so...
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something.
It's entirely possible. There's something there for sure. Especially in, like, my line of work, where, like, fucking everybody who's coming in plays Pokemon, dude. Like, literally everybody, like, from the fucking Tumblr girls who you'll constantly see to, like, these hardcore bikers or gangsters and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all play Pokemon, dude. Like, when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, we had people of all shapes and sizes coming in for that shit. Maybe they're coming in for the children. I choose to believe that they wanted it for themselves, though.
They want the Pokemon cards, man. They love those Mons.
Oh yeah, fucking Pokemon cards are always sold out.
Can't get enough of the Mons.
That is the worst one.
Ooh, what? Okay, what if you try and trick them into using some very period-specific slang?
I don't like what's up.
Yeah, like what's up, and then you're like, alright, so they're legal. Like if you could trick me into using the word wrecked, then you'd be like, okay, I know exactly how old this guy is.
Or like pwned or some shit.
Exactly. Do you just look him dead in the eyes and say, do you remember pwned? Pwned.
Tanner, do you know how pwned came about?
Is it something? It's something with a P combined with owned, right?
I mean, basically, yeah. It was just someone misspelling owned because P is right next to it. It's right next to the O. They typed that.
That's really okay. I see what. Wow, God, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that is how these sorts of words are.
Yeah,
made.
like,
can we just appreciate
like
how much better wrecked is?
Yeah, wrecked is pretty neat.
Yeah. Like pwned, that's awful. I'm glad it's dead.
We could revive it though, Tanner. I think that we have the manpower.
Just because we can do something doesn't mean we should.
That is the question we must stop to ask ourselves.
Mm-hmm. People aren't given power to do evil, they're given power and then choose to do evil.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So if you have the power to bring back pwned, only do it for good. For good.
Tanner, so like, if we did like suddenly like just get a shitload of subscribers.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. They're basically the same thing. How long do you think it would take for the fame to go to your head?
Dude, I don't have any fame now and it's already gone to my head.
Oh, so almost immediately. That was about what I was expecting.
Yeah, no, I'd be using my newfound like recognizability to my advantage immediately.
Yeah. That's kind of what I had assumed for you.
Yeah, no, like what? Who's not going to take advantage of fame?
I don't know. I like the idea
of always... go to your head.
I like the idea of always having that little guy mindset, you know? I think that's what keeps you pure. That's what keeps you honest, you know?
Think of all the most famous people ever. How many of them have the little guy mindset?
I don't know, like Lenny Kravitz probably.
You're naming fucking B-list celebrities.
I don't know, like Ryan Reynolds, he kind of seems like he has that little guy mentality still.
Who cares? Ryan Reynolds played Green Lantern.
That's fair. I don't know, like Jeb Bush, maybe?
What about, what? What is...
Yeah, Jeb Bush. I'm sure he's still got that mentality.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't say for certain. I have a feeling the answer is no, and that you're, like, slowly leaning him against where the other person's produce is supposed to be.
It's about all I can think of at the moment, though. What would you do if you ended up dying at some point and you were in Jewish heaven?
I mean, is there anything I have to do? If I wound up in Jewish heaven, that kind of sounds like the end-all be-all.
I mean, like, you know, would you, like, fear possibly, like, correcting someone and being like, hey, I'm not Jewish, why am I here? You know, would you fear bringing that up just in case, like, they realize, like, oh, yeah, you're not supposed to be here. I'm sending you right back to hell. Goodbye, boy. You know? Or would you just kind of, like, wait out your time there?
I mean, I feel like there's no waiting out hell. Right?
Yeah.
I think it kind of just keeps going.
So would you just remain in Jewish heaven then, and not want to like cause any trouble just in case?
Yeah, exactly. I wanna have as much sex with Jewish women as I can.
That's probably about all they get down to in Jewish heaven, I'd assume.
You know, I've said previously that I think it's inherently racist to have racial preferences for like romantic partners.
Yeah, but like you're really into them Jewish girls.
No. But I do think I'm a hypocrite and therefore a racist because I have kind of come to the realization that I do in fact find black women more attractive than non-black women. I'm not... I don't think I really have any recourse other than to just accept that I'm kind of prejudiced.
For shame, Tanner. For shame. What is it that does it for you, my guy?
I don't know. It's like entirely subconscious.
Yeah. It's almost like maybe the people who feel that way aren't as bigoted as you previously thought.
Well, yeah, I don't think they're consciously bigoted. I'm just saying that, like, it's unconscious racism, you know?
I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe you have to act on the racism, Tanner.
But, like, I kind of am, aren't I?
No.
Well, because, like, if I'm more attracted to one type of person than the other, then I'm going to make choices that reflect me being more interested in them than others.
I don't know. I feel like that's more of just like a personal preference type thing. I don't think that there's too much like... I think you may be looking a little too far into it, you know?
I don't know.
It's like how I'm not really into blondes, you know? It's just that sort of thing, Doug.
Why are you not into blondes?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably just because, like, the only blonde woman who I've really known throughout my life is my mom, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
You seem to put a lot of stock in the appearance of your close relatives in determining who you are and are not willing to pursue romantically.
I'm sorry, I just do not want to, like, feel like I'm having sex with any of my relatives, Tanner. Is that so wrong?
Ridiculous.
And besides,
I
don't know if that's truly the reason either. That's kind of just what I'm assuming the reason is.
Alright.
That's me psychoanalyzing myself. And I'm probably not the most reliable source, so, like, you know.
I thought that was you psychoanalyzing the dog.
I mean, probably. There's
Wait.
a little bit of that in there, but...
Did you mention a dog, or did I just imagine this scenario as having a dog and then I just brought it up?
Yeah, no, I don't think that we have brought dogs at any point throughout this podcast except for when you just did.
I had a little imagination moment where I was like, oh, this is what this scenario would look like, and I imagined a dog, and then I guess my brain just incorporated that and was like, I guess the dog was part of this at some point. But no, just me.
Yeah. I don't even know where a dog would fit into that entire discussion, so...
I'm not entirely sure what the discussion was, just like, oh yeah, your family.
Yeah.
Or something.
Mi familia.
Where's the dog? I don't know.
You're doing your best, Tanner. That's all we care about. That's all we ask of you.
Yeah. Listen, I shaved my head yesterday, so, like, my hair isn't there to hold all my memory and logic in.
Ah, okay. Okay.
It's flying out all over the place.
Your memories are usually doing that anyway, but, like, the logic, on the other hand, that's something that's forever. That's something that's a Tanner specialty.
Yeah. Much like Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Ben Shapiro and his hot sister.
Yeah, and his hot sister. I'm just like Ben Shapiro, except tall, muscular, not Jewish. Just basically better in every possible way.
And to think that you stated that your like most controversial statement that you've ever made is that you don't like Latin music.
Uh-huh. You maybe you don't understand how much these people love this fucking music.
I don't know. I think you've said many more controversial things in the past.
Terrible dog shit music.
I don't think it's that bad. I think you're just mean, Tanner.
I mean, how much of it have you listened to, kid?
Let's see here. Not much, I'd say. Not much. I don't think there's a single song in Spanish on my entire playlist. A couple Japanese ones here and there. We got a German one. Obviously a Russian song, but like Spanish, I don't think so. And honestly, that's kind of just on me.
Dude, you ever think about like roads?
I can't say that I do, Tanner. Well, how often do you think about roads?
Anytime I'm driving for like a decent amount of time, I start thinking of roads. Especially highways. Like, highways kind of blow me away. I'm like, man, we figured this shit out. Oh my gosh. Especially when you're like driving through like LA or whatever, and like, wow, all this stuff like goes to the right place.
That is fairly mind-blowing.
I think the American highway system is like the 21st or the 20th, the 21st century equivalents of like the pyramids of Giza.
But Tanner, people hate our roads, though.
I know, but like they don't have their minds open.
I do have my own fair share of criticisms about roads, though. Like, you know,
yeah.
I want all roads to be like double wide. You know, I don't want single lanes at all. Because otherwise we'll get stuck behind someone, and it's like, now I gotta be behind this asshole for like an hour or some shit sometimes, and it's like,
yeah,
you know, that's just awful. And also, like,
I saw a bad driver this week.
Ooh, was it you?
No, and what's funny, like this, so like, they were fucking doing dog shit like driving, and B, they had their mask on alone in their car. That
is something that I still do not quite understand.
Yeah, I don't get it at all. But like, basically, like, you know, we're going down the road and we're in the far right lane, and that's the lane that turns and doesn't keep going straight.
Yeah.
This guy gets into the far right lane, then realizes he does not want to be in the far right lane, tries to go into the left lane, but you know, cars are driving by a bit, I guess, apparently a bit too fast. And so he just sits there 5 minutes, keeping all of us who actually need to turn just sitting there for him.
I mean, what's the alternative, Tanner? What's this guy gonna do otherwise?
He's got the alternative is you have to own your fucking mistake and go the wrong way.
I don't know, Tanner. I don't know. I think you are perhaps just a bit too impatient.
So I mean, you know, when I'm driving, I'm going somewhere. I think I'm allowed to be impatient.
Well, you see, Tanner, like, you know, that's not that guy's fault. At this point, it's just society failing him, you see.
He failed himself. He has no one to blame but himself. He got in the wrong lane because he's a stupid idiot.
You don't know that, Tanner. You don't know his home life. Maybe
he wears his mask in his car, man.
Maybe his driving instructor used to like smoke a lot in the car, and so he needs to have a mask on at all times while he's driving. And like maybe he was super abusive or something. It would smack him every time he tried to like turn or some shit. You don't know his life, Tanner.
Oh, maybe you're right. Nico, what's the longest time you've ever stayed awake for?
Not much longer than 24 hours, I'd say. I tend to value my sleep quite a bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten close to 48 before.
Why so long?
I feel like I remember it's at like 1 week, I stayed up for 24 hours and I was like, I wonder how far I can go. And so I just stayed up to see how long I could stay up.
Okay. That most certainly is a very Tanner thing to do, I'd say.
Yeah? Harm myself for entertainment?
Yeah, exactly.
Just be like, I wonder if what would happen? Dude, what would happen?
Yeah, you could always, like, check out a research paper or something about that kind of thing, but, like, nah, you gotta put it to the test. You don't know if those people are hack frauds.
Yeah, I can't trust those guys. I can't trust research.
Yeah. That paper wasn't even peer-reviewed. Come on!
Yeah, this is me peer-reviewing it, actually.
Yeah.
I'm doing their job for them.
And how was the experience by the end of it?
It's not great.
I wouldn't imagine so, no.
You get a second wind from hour 24 until maybe hour 30 or so, and then it's all downhill from there.
Okay. Did you, like, have to work at some point or something like that when you were getting into, like, the 40s or so at that point you just couldn't sleep even though you wanted to?
I can't remember. There was 1 week where I tried to see what was the most number of, the highest number of hours I could work in one day.
Okay.
And I worked 19 hours in one day.
Was that while you were, like, working at FedEx or something? Or was that for, like, some school? Okay.
That was FedEx.
Gotcha.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
That does sound insufferable. I can barely make it through, like, 8 hours of working, dude.
That's because you're weak, Nico.
No, dude, it's because I just hate working.
My boss keeps giving me back-to-back shifts, man. And
Why?
by back-to-back, I mean, like, there's 8 hours in between instead of 16.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, that is pretty rough, though.
And, you know, I always show up early and stay late. So what am I to do, you know? I can't get any sleep when it's scheduled like that.
Yeah, I don't understand people who are, like, criticize you for, like, for not wanting to, like, sleep, or not, like, even not wanting to sleep, like, refusing to let your body undergo, like, awful circumstances, you know? Like, there would be many times throughout high school and, the early days of college in which we'd go hang out with some folks, and they wouldn't like that, I would need to go home early because I had work super early the next day, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm only gonna sleep like 2 hours tonight, come on. You don't need 8 hours of sleep, what are you doing? It's like...
I mean, you don't.
I don't care that you're destroying your body. I want to preserve mine, though, okay?
Nico, at our age, we only need like 6.5 hours.
I don't know if that's true, Tanner.
Yeah, no, as you age, you need fewer hours of sleep.
I think you're lying to me, Tanner. I think you're lying.
That's true.
I do know I do know that you need less hours of sleep as you age, but I don't think at our age we need that many less.
Well, it's not really that many less if you think about it, because, you know, one sleep cycle is an hour and a half. So really, I'm just saying that by the time we hit our age, we need one less sleep cycle than like 8 hours.
I don't know, Tanner. From what I'm finding from the Sleep Foundation themselves, they're saying 7 to 9 hours is what we require.
Yeah. But 6.5, that's sleep cycles. Like, the extra 30 minutes to make it 7 doesn't make a difference because you're not getting a full sleep cycle.
But I'm gunning for that 9, Tanner, is the thing. I want that 9 hours of sleep.
Uh-huh.
I want to be operating at optimal efficiency. Because, like,
your optimal efficiency isn't even that much better than your low efficiency.
You don't know that, Tanner. You haven't seen what I get up to in my daily life, which is not much.
Uh-huh.
But damn it, I can do that not much way more optimally if I get that 9 hours of sleep.
Right. I don't know. I guess sleeping a super long time is nice every once in a while, but it's not really for me.
Gotcha. That's all you gotta say, Tanner. That's all I need to hear. It's just not for you, man.
I really liked in college when I was, you know, studying like 9 hours a day, working like 5 to 6 hours a day, and then sleeping for like 4 hours.
That sounds dreadful.
I mean, it was fun, you know?
What's fun about that?
I was doing the thing. I was accomplishing things. I was being a mover and a shaker.
So why'd you want to cut all that short, Tanner?
It put me ahead in life, you know?
I guess. So, like, you
no
actually...
No pain, no gain.
So, like, would you actually study throughout, like, high school and college and stuff?
Oh, no. Study's just the word I use for do classwork.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I studied for my very first semester when I started university, and then I was like, my grades aren't much better with studying than they would have been without it, so I stopped studying.
I think the only time I ever had to study was for like a couple of my science classes in college. Outside of that, I would never study because I just couldn't focus whatsoever, so I just wouldn't do it. And then I'd usually pass the class with at least a B or an A, so it wouldn't really matter that much.
Exactly, that's why I never study, because it's like I always pass anyways, so who cares?
Yeah. Like, I know that in college at some point, I had met some people who wanted to start a study group. And, I mean, you know, there may have been a few cute girls in there, and I was a little interested in, like, you know, getting a little R&R with them, but at the same time, I don't know what the fuck a study group even does, dude. Like,
yeah,
I can't study on my own, so...
Yeah. Well, they like ask each other questions and shit, I think.
Gotcha.
Or they work together on taking notes or something? I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, it feels like an entirely foreign concept that I guess I'm just never really going to learn about in my life.
Right, yeah.
That's one aspect of life that I've conceded. I will never have it, and I think I'm fine with that.
Okay, what do we do now?
I don't know, I can cut this part out. Let's see here.
Nah, don't even, like, whatever, you know. We're raw, we're authentic. People can see us and touch us and feel us.
I'm constantly cutting things out, though, Tanner. In the last episode, I cut out, like, I think a solid, like, at least a minute of dead air.
You're a coward. I don't know, I've got allergies.
You have allergies, Tanner?
Right now, I'm getting out. I assume it's because, you know, I'm new here and I'm not used to, like, the native plants. And so they're literally, like, they're causing my allergies to go just buck wild.
Damn. Have you ever experienced, like, really allergies at all when you were living here in Oregon?
When I was really little, I used to be allergic to the cheese powder on Doritos and Cheetos.
Okay.
Like, getting it on my skin would cause me to break out in hives.
Gotcha.
And then, at a certain point, that just stopped being a thing that happens.
Once you built up an immunity to it? Like, at what age did you realize that you never, like, had to experience that again?
Fuck if I know, dude.
Okay. That's fair. I didn't know if at some point you were just like, fuck it, I need to know what a Cheeto tastes like, and so you just, like, bit into it,
well, you know,
and realized that you didn't die, so you're like, well, I guess I'm good now.
There was no point where I wasn't eating them. I only knew I had that allergy because I was getting the reaction from it.
Why were you eating them at that point, then? Wouldn't that, like, destroy your innards?
No, I said it caused my skin to break out in hives. It didn't do anything to me internally.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I don't know. I just assumed that, like, if your outwards would have a negative reaction, then likely your innards would as well.
As far as I can remember, no.
Okay.
I believe it literally was just, like, if I got it on, like, my hands, it would, you know, cause little bumps.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. You got any allergies, Nico?
No. I'm not really allergic to anything. I did find out that I'm apparently allergic to something, like the last time I went in for a physical, and my doctor was like, oh yeah, you're allergic to, like, this thing, and it was some sort of, like, medicine thing. I don't remember what it was, though. I should probably learn what that was. But yeah, I don't know. There's something out there I'm allergic to, and at the moment, I don't know what it is, so I live in constant fear that that thing will come for me.
Wow. You think you've ever been stalked before? Like, either physically or online?
Well, let's see. There was the time in which you found my Reddit account. I would assume that you did a little stalking that time. You did a little trolling, you know. You constantly messaged me.
Someone just happened upon it in my, like, college Discord.
And they're like, diss you? And you're like, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, well, they, like, message me or whatever, like, hey, what's this? I'm like, oh, that must be my friend's account, I guess.
I know that Jackson had found me on there as well, like, when I first started a Reddit account. I don't know how he found me.
Nico.
I have no idea how he found me, but, yeah. I also had his Reddit account at that point, though, as well, since he messaged me on Reddit. It's like, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't fucking know. That's about all I can think of, though. I don't think anyone has ever really stalked me in any other way, especially not online, since I don't fucking do anything online other than this, so. Has anyone stalked you, Tanner?
Not a person so much as a conglomeration, because, you know, who isn't getting stalked by fucking Jack Dorsey, am I right?
Yeah, of course.
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's probably plenty of examples where, like, for me, sex very much was being used in that way to like get favors or whatever, but
What?
I wasn't part of that culture, you know.
Okay. So have you yourself ever done any stalking then?
Yeah, kinda, basically.
Ooh.
I like keep an eye on like my now ex-girlfriend's Twitter account.
Gotcha, okay.
That's so yes, basically, but that's about like
You're just doing a little
That's-
trolling, Tanner. It's
Yeah.
just what boys will be boys, my guy. That's all you're doing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little basic stuff there.
Sometimes I just go out into my apartment complex, at 2 a.m. and just walk around, see what people are, see how they're gonna react.
That doesn't sound like stalking, Tanner.
Yeah, but it's in the vein of what we're talking about.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sometimes when I'm walking around at night, I'll just freeze in front of certain buildings, turn towards them, and stare for a couple of minutes.
Do you know about like a gang stalking at all?
No. What's gang stalking? Oh no.
Yeah, there's another big conspiracy thing. You see, there are quite a few people out there who believe that there are groups who are stalking them constantly, and they're hiding amongst the masses. They believe that these types of people who are gang stalking them are communicating in these special ways by coughing or like scratching their nose or just like kind of nodding at you and shit like that. Just normal things that everyone does in their daily life. They believe that these people are stalking them, Tanner. That they're the center of a massive conspiracy. That's the gist of it for the most part. Tanner, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you were talking.
No, I was not.
I thought you were talking and I just couldn't hear you.
Gotcha. Okay.
How long have we been silent for?
We were silent for like a solid 10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, so what were we talking about before?
Gang stalking, Tanner.
Gang stalk. What's gang stalking?
Well, Tanner, I suppose you're just gonna have to go back and watch the episode to find out all about gang stalking. I think that'll be doing it. Yes, I did. I think they'll be doing it for today, though, boys and girls.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is this a mini guap or something?
I mean, I don't think it's that many. I think we've been going for at least an hour.
Okay.
If not close to.
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
Reality has ceased to have any meaning to me.